I see what you're saying. If you climb our gates, I'll take a photo and I'll call the police. It's a bit of a difficult situation. You're not playing by our rules.
Right.
So I'm entitled to call the police in this case.
You can apply to fly your drone here, and then there's sort of arrangements will be made, or
Right.
if it's suitable for what you're going to be using the film for.
Okay. Hiya folks, we're at a place called Urquhart Castle today. It's an absolutely magnificent castle ruins up on the banks of Loch Ness, about 20 miles south of Inverness. You might be able to see it down there. Not sure how well you'll be able to see that on the camera with the bright sunshine, but we're here for a couple of reasons today. One of which I'll talk about in a moment, but the main one is I got a little tip about them denying access to a public right-of-way. There's been a right-of-way on this site for hundreds of years, and I know where it is, and I've already had a walk down there before I started recording the video, and sure enough it's locked up. I think there was a no entry sign on the gate, and there's like some sort of secure chain wrapped around the handle. You'll see it in a minute. I'm going to walk down there before we speak to anyone. The other thing that we're here is obviously related to people's right to use a drone in public airspace. And you'll probably notice as you go around this corner, this is where you come in when you drive here. The very first thing you see before like a welcome sign or even a sign saying that this is the way to Urquhart Castle is no drones sign. Now this place is managed by National Heritage Scotland, I believe they're called. Now their policy on drones is actually they will allow drones for both commercial and recreational use. If you want to use it commercially, you have to obviously go through their application process. If you want to use it recreationally, you just have to go to a map, which when I checked it this morning wasn't actually working. I wasn't actually going to go through the process. I was just checking it because you do your homework. You go to a map. According to their instructions, you click the location you want to fly. You send them your insurance details, which you don't actually need for recreational flight. You send them your registration details with the CAA. You need to send them a risk assessment and a flight plan, and they will authorize it after 5 days. You don't need to do any of that because you can just fly here if you've got the correct certification and the correct type of drone. So it's kind of an official way of unofficially stopping people from flying drones. Because most people that come here, I actually come here quite often with my daughter because we live not far from here. But most people that come here are coming here on holiday. They're probably not thinking of applying 5 days ahead of time to fly a drone. So there you go. Through that gate is the way you get into the public right of way. There's kind of a disability element to this story as well. So I'm not gonna, I've been rambling on for too long at the moment. I'm not gonna talk about that just now. If it comes up, then obviously you'll see how it plays out. But yeah, we're gonna ask them how to get down to the shore, see what they do, and once they presumably relent and allow us down there, That's when we're going to mention the drone. Now it's a public right-of-way. You can launch from a public right-of-way. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, you would need to go to the Clemson Hotel and catch it there.
Yes,
That's it, yeah. Hello.
Good morning. How do I access the like the public right-of-way down to the shore, the other side of the castle?
You either need to go back to the village of Drumnadrochit, or the best other place is Fort Augustus.
No, I mean I can't walk from Fort Augustus back here.
No.
I'm just looking to like go down through the castle grounds to.
Can't.
Why would that be?
It's private.
There's a public right-of-way though, isn't there?
No, it's private. It's government owned.
I know, but there's a public right-of-way down through the grounds to the shore.
Not from here, it isn't, no.
Are you quite sure about that? Mm-hmm. Are you as sure as I am?
I've been for the last 17 years.
Right, okay. Would you possibly be able to check with someone else? Because there certainly is.
Absolutely. I'll get you up a manager.
All right, thank you.
Admissions to duty manager.
Hello?
Yes, is it at all possible for you just to pop upstairs for a minute, Irish?
Okay.
All right, so we kind of got the response that I've been hearing that people get, which is that they just claim it's a private site. They're also dropping this line in about it's a government site. That seems to be a new thing I've been encountering recently. Yeah, it's a government site. Well, so what? It's not a military site. There's lots of land owned by the government and the Crown, but... Hello, thanks for coming. Oh,
Iris Young.
Iris, I'm Andrew. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you for your help, sir.
help?
Yeah, I was wanting to go down to the shore, like on the other side of the castle, and there's a public access route, but the gentleman there is saying that, well, he said there isn't. I think maybe he just perhaps doesn't know that there is.
So, public right-of-way doesn't apply to paid visitor attractions, which we are.
Right,
So
I'm not
there's-
wanting to go into the castle or into the visitor centre. I'm just wanting to go down to the shore.
So there's access to the shore from other places, but we don't have access through the monument to the shore here.
Right. No,
The
I wou-
right of access.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be looking to go. Oh gosh, sun right in my eyes there. I wouldn't be looking to go through the castle, just down to the shore.
You'd always have to go through here. If you approach from this place, you always have to go through the monument.
If I went from here, I'd have to go through the visitor centre. But if I went on the right of way, that goes down
Where
to
is the right of way?
It's along at the end of your ground. There's a locked gate that says no entry.
Yeah.
That's where the right of way starts.
I don't have information about that right of way at all. I've never heard about this right of way.
All right, it's published on publicly available maps.
I've worked here for 8 years and
Okay.
I've never seen this before, and I can't allow people without a ticket to go in. So
Right. So I'd need to pay a ticket to access the shore of the loch.
you need to pay a ticket to access this land, this part of the land.
Right.
I've never heard of this right of way
Okay.
path either. Like, I know of some that I use in the village, but this one is not marked anywhere.
Okay.
So I don't even know of it.
Right. Is it something you could check on? Because obviously I've come a long way to do what I'm here to do, which
Do
is
you have a website I can look at?
I can try and find it for you. Actually, here I'm not going to have enough signal to do
Right.
it.
Do you know the name? The
There's
thing is, I'm not going to have the power to allow you anyway, because this is not in our procedures at all.
right.
So what I can do, if you can provide me the website, is to take it to legal and see if they will make a change, because
Right.
as it is, it's not marked in any way, because the ones I use, they all have that post that say right of way,
Okay.
you know, public
I
path
understand.
kind of thing. So for today, specifically, I won't be able to allow you to do that. I can look into it again, but as I say, legal has done this for many years. I can try and see if it's out there somewhere on the
Okay.
website and try and see is the website wrong? Like, where does this go awry, kind of thing.
Right.
But for today, this is not going to work. So, are you in a car or?
Well, I need to do it today. This is like the day that it's scheduled for. Where I need to go down to the shore of the loch.
Right.
As far you're saying about you're not able to allow me to do it, I'm not looking for you to allow me to do it. It's something I'm allowed to do.
Yeah.
If you were, say, for example, to keep the gate closed, you would actually be denying me access to a right-of-way, rather than not allowing.
I've never seen that exists. I'm not doubting your word. I'm just saying it's not something that we're even aware of as an organisation that it exists. Okay. So I see what you're saying. If you climb our gates, I'll take a photo and I'll call the police. It's a bit of a difficult situation.
Right, but I wouldn't be looking to climb over the gate. I'd be looking for you to open the gate so that the access to the right-of-way isn't blocked.
Yes, which is something I can't do because I have no instructions to do that.
Okay, that would be a failing on the part of management here, the organisation that runs the site.
Or the information that's out there is wrong. This is why we can have a look at the website and see what it says. Because what if it's a different place and we're just looking at the location wrong?
Okay.
You know.
Would you like to take a moment to check that?
What's this website?
Well, there's a few. If you just find any website that shows public rights of way in Scotland, there's a whole network of tracks. It's more or less the tracks that people walk down to the castle is all marked as a right of way. Or it's I'm actually, the reason I keep saying right of way is just I've temporarily forgotten the correct term for it. There's a specific term for it. But there is a general right of way from the road down through the site of the castle, not including the actual castle ruins, down to the shore. Because it's from one public place to another public place, and therefore it's, unless it was agricultural land,
right,
it can't be restricted.
I'll go down and see if I can find a website, since you're not able to give me the website specifically.
It's just I wouldn't have a good enough signal here to be able to find it on my phone. I think one of them, off the top of my head, one was on the Ramblers Association website.
Right.
But there was also one there was one linked from the Scottish Government website, and there was one linked from, I don't remember. But, I mean, they're certainly official sources. And it was 3 separate sources that I checked before I came here.
Okay, well, I'll go have a look. As I say, even if it says on the website I can't allow you access because I don't have that instruction. So I would be taking a website over what my organisation is instructing me to do.
Right.
So let me go have a look.
Well, if you go and have a look now, that's kind of a moot point then. Because you're essentially saying if you go and find a website that says, if you find a page on the government website saying that there is a right of way through the grounds of Urquhart Castle, you're saying you still can't allow me to use the right of way.
Yes, and I'm basically trying to figure out what else I can do, because as I'm standing here right now, I feel like my hands are tied because I have you on one side and the organisation saying something completely different.
Understood.
So I'm trying to figure out if I can, being a Sunday as well, if I can call someone in legal, if there's someone on call or something.
Okay.
So give me just 5 minutes.
Right. Do you mind me asking, as far as the information you're aware of, has it's Historic Environment Scotland, is that right? Have they specifically told you there is no right of way, or is it just something that they haven't put any information out about?
We have this many times with right of way
tourism. Okay.
So the information we have from the organisation is public right of way does not apply to paid visitor attractions.
Right.
You have to go to get there here. But I wasn't aware that there's ever been a specifically designated right of way that starts from our gate down. So I've never seen that before. So that's why I kind of just want to go look.
Right.
Just in case it's slightly in a different location.
Okay. I mean, when I mentioned about it's through the gate, I mean, just because that's with the layout you've got here, that's the way you get to know. Like if that wall wasn't there, you could access it from anywhere along here.
Yeah.
You basically, you can walk from the road down to the shore, and there shouldn't be anything to physically prevent you from doing that. And obviously the direct access is through the gate, so there's a locked gate that's preventing access to a public right of way.
I understand that. I don't see how that's feasible either, for us to be open and that gate to be opened as well.
Okay.
Let me just give me 5 minutes.
I think it was about, just to give you some, I mean, you say you've been here 8 years. I'm assuming you'll know this anyway. That gate used to be open 24 hours a day?
Never been open since I've been here.
Okay.
It used to be lower and easier to climb over.
Yeah. So the gate that's there at the moment didn't used to be there. Then there was a lower wooden gate that you could climb over. Further down.
You shouldn't climb over.
No, but you could.
It was easy to do.
Yeah.
Easier to do.
So somebody could have lower down.
Not during open hours, certainly, but yeah.
No, but that was the layout going back from a few, I think I said 2 years, I think it was longer ago than that.
Yeah.
But that was the layout. So that is a new addition that appears to be there to restrict access to the site?
No, because the size of a gate, a locked gate, shouldn't really give you any different allowances. If there was a locked gate saying no entrance, even though it's this height, you should still not enter the place, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
But
Okay, right, I'll wait out here. Cheers. Right, there we go. So, from what I'd heard from the people that I'm looking into this for, that's exactly the line everyone's getting. And she mentioned herself then that they run into this quite a lot. People believing there's a right of way, and they have to enforce their belief that there isn't. So it's another one of these situations where is everybody getting the wrong information, and Historic Environment Scotland have the right information? All the websites that show the right of way, are they wrong? Or is Historic Environment Scotland wrong? Chattering away.
I tried to see if there is anyone I could speak to, but being a Sunday, I couldn't find anyone.
Okay, that's fine.
And as far as I can see, I can't find a website specifically identifies that, so I can chase that forward and clarify in the future.
Okay.
But for today, I cannot allow you in because it's a paid attraction, and you would have to go through our land to get there.
Right,
so
okay.
As far as I understand it, public right-of-way does not apply in this situation.
Okay, you're saying I'd have to go through your land to get there? There being the paid attraction. I'm not trying to get to the paid attraction.
You would have to go through it because as soon as you get through the gate, you are within the attraction. This is the attraction land.
I believe that would apply if somebody was trying to, they were trying to get a new right-of-way established, but this is an existing right-of-way that goes back hundreds of years before this was an attraction, in quotes.
So this is the information I have, though. It's what I need to work with today.
Right.
If you want to take this forward, I would urge you to write to us so we can investigate more.
Okay.
But what I have to work with today is the information which we work with all the time, which is there's no public right-of-way because it's a paid attraction.
Right.
So for today, I can't allow you in.
So how would I access the shore?
You are more than welcome to buy a ticket and access the attraction, and the shore is part of it.
But I don't want to access the attraction. I don't want to go into the cafe or the gift shop.
If you want to come in or not come in.
Right. But how can I, just as a member of the public turning up here, how can I access the shore of Loch Ness without having to pay a fee?
Other places that I can inform you of that you can access the shore quite close by. I can speak to you about that. If you want to come in here, the shore is part of it. So some people pay the ticket to just visit the castle. They don't want the visitor center. Some people pay the ticket because they want to visit their center. They don't want the castle.
Okay.
If you just want the shore, you're more than welcome to buy a ticket as well.
Right.
But if you'd like me to show you how to get there close by without buying a ticket, then I can also give you that information.
Right. So you're claiming the shore is part of the attraction?
I'm claiming to come in here either this way or that way, you need to go to the attraction, you need to pay for it.
But is the shore part of the paid attraction?
All of this side is part of the attraction.
Okay, where does the boundary of the attraction end?
I don't have that information.
Okay, because there'll be a point down there where the boundary is, and the shore on the other side of that boundary would not be part of the paid attraction.
I'm sure there will be, but I don't have that kind of information.
Okay, so to get there, I'd need to go through your grounds, which is why there's a right of way.
I don't have any more than I can tell you.
Okay, well, I mean, today...
To come through our grounds, you need to pay.
Right, I wouldn't be looking to pay to use a right of way. And that's what I'm here to do.
And that's where I'm saying this is not clear for you, obviously, or for me. So if you want to write in, we can pass this to the team that has the information that can help you with that.
Right, but that doesn't change the situation.
It doesn't change today.
Right now, exactly. What today is what we're talking about.
I have nothing else I can do.
Okay.
Because I have no one else to pull into the conversation.
All right.
And the information I have is what I've given you.
All right. So if I were to go and find a way to access the right of way without obviously damaging your property or interfering in your property in any way, what would,
Are you telling me you want to trespass?
Would it be trespass?
Well, if you climb our gate that says no entry, it's trespassing, I suppose.
Okay. What would the policy be if somebody did do that? What would happen?
We need to escort you out of the premises, and if there's a problem, we call the police.
Right, you'd be calling the police. So that,
if someone's trespassing, yes.
So that you'd only call the police if it was a criminal matter, though.
I can call the police for any matters I see fit.
Well, you can, but you'd have to believe it was a criminal matter.
Right. What can I do right now to solve
I just want to go down to the shore.
I cannot allow you into there. It's not in any way an access for the public. And if you come through here, you need to pay a ticket. Do you want to do that?
No, I just want to go down on the public path.
There's nothing I can help you with. I've tried.
Right.
Okay.
So I think probably the next step, you obviously will understand I'm kind of making a point here. I'm standing up for my rights.
Yes,
the next step in my mind would maybe to go down there and look, see if there's a way I can access the site without putting myself or anyone else at risk. When I say site, I mean to get past the barrier, basically. I don't mean to access the castle. But you're saying you'd call the police, which suggests to me that in your mind that would be a criminal offence?
In my mind, this is our land here. So if you're going somehow to find a way to go through this gate that says no access, then you're not playing by our rules.
Right.
So I'm entitled to call the police in this case. They might say it's not a criminal matter. Okay. But they might still want to attend.
Right. But you haven't mentioned any criminal matter. You're saying if it was against your rules, you'd phone the police. But the police don't exist to enforce your rules. They're there to enforce the law.
Okay, right. I'm not going to go down any further into this discussion.
Okay, so can I just go down and access the...
I'll send some staff as well down there just to make sure you don't come into our property. Right. So I've helped you as much as I can.
Okay, appreciate that.
I cannot do anything else. Please write in if you want to take this further. And for right now, if you don't want any more information about other points of access and you don't want to buy tickets, that's all I have to say.
Well, I'm just going to go down and try and find how I can access the right of way.
I have one more thing to say.
Of course.
I do not give you any authorization to use this recording that you're potentially making, or not. I don't know.
Okay.
If you are, I do not give you authorization to use it.
I understand.
Okay. Right. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you very much. Cheerio. Okay, this is what I absolutely hate about these organisations. That is a perfectly nice lady, perfectly civil, just trying to do her job. She's not being unreasonable. She is doing what someone above her has told her to do, basically, whether that's through giving her specific instructions or giving her a lack of correct information. So she's the one that's up on YouTube spouting a load of nonsense. She's the one that's now possibly concerned about, you know, looking silly in a YouTube video, because she obviously realised that you know, she had a rough idea of what was going on here. Right, there's no way to get over here safely. So obviously I wouldn't actually be doing it anyway, even if there was. The point here is not to create a drama just because I personally would be able to handle it. The point is to see how it happens if some person in a wheelchair turns up here and is wanting to just go down to the shore. Okay, we're being watched. So that's what we're trying to find out. Now, it's quite possible that, you know, realising that they're being filmed, they could have behaved differently today and said, oh yeah, certainly sir, of course you can, no problem at all. But even knowing that they're being filmed and therefore obviously being scrutinised for a reason that they, you know, they don't fully know yet, they still have taken this line of there's no access at all. Yeah, right, okay. The next step, I think, is to go and give them the good news about the drone. Right, the guy's watching me. Now, if he sees me walking back, he might just bail this. There he goes. Because at the moment, they think they've won. They think their locked gate brings an end to the issue by denying other people their rights. So, let's see how they feel about the right to fly a drone. Now, we can actually fly the drone here, even with maximum interference from them, because there's a public path just off the site, and at this time of year there aren't any trees blocking the way. Hi there. The lady had explained she wasn't willing to open the gate, and I'm not, with the layout of it, I'm not willing to risk trying to climb over it or around it or anything. What I'm going to do is just fly my drone down to the shore and around the castle that way.
There's no flying drones around here.
Oh, what's the legislation that would cover that? I mean, there isn't, is the reason I ask. So I'm
There is over our private property, and drones that have fallen out of style, which we've got 2 in our office because they have malfunctioned.
Right, okay.
That's the reason why we don't allow them to fly over our property, because there's people down.
Right. That's for each individual drone pilot to decide if it's something they're willing to do, as long as they've got the correct authorization, obviously. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to fly the drone down, because if I physically can't get down there because the access is blocked.
You're not allowed to fly a drone over this property, so.
Right, okay. So where do we go from there then?
I don't go anywhere, sir. And we're just telling you what it is. There is no drones allowed to fly over our property.
Sorry, I'll let you guys.
Hi.
I'll just wait a moment while we serve these people. I don't know if you saw at the end there, the guy was just starting to show me a little bit of paper with a no drone sign on it. What time is it? 11:49. I've got to be out of here in 40 minutes.
Yeah, so what is it that you would like to do?
So what I was doing, I was wanting to go down to the...
Are you filming just now, just so I know?
I am, yeah. Should we go outside just so I'm not on... if you want, yeah.
No, it's okay, I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wanting to go down to the shore to take some pictures of the castle from down there, because I understand there's a public right-of-way from that end of the car park down to the shore. But I've spoken to... What's the lady's name I spoke to? Irish. I spoke to Irish, and she says as far as management here is aware, there is no right-of-way. So what I was going to do is just fly my drone down and take some pictures that way. But the gentleman's saying that there's not allowed to fly drones over the over the grounds?
Yeah, so as you can see, we have a sign here about that as well.
Right.
So it's something that needs arranged in advance. You can apply to fly your drone here, and then there's sort of arrangements will be made, or
Right.
if it's suitable for what you're going to be using the film for.
Okay.
But to just sort of turn up and fly drones over the castle, unfortunately, that's with no notice. That's unfortunately not allowed. So we can help you find where you need to apply if you want to do that. But it's not a case of you can just turn up and fly drones over the castle, I'm afraid.
Right. I believe it is. I believe it is fine to just turn up and fly. You get.
Not from our grounds, no.
No, that I'm sure you're correct on that. But as far as like going up to a public area and flying the drone down to the castle.
If you're somewhere else, then that's nothing. I can't do anything about that, obviously. But you can't fly from our grounds.
Right, but I can fly over the grounds from a public
We'd ask
area.
you not to, because it is over a public area, and obviously there's lots of visitors and things, and that's quite, it can be very disruptive for the people that are visiting here.
Understood.
But we can certainly arrange for you to come and do that if if you'd rather do that.
All right. It's just something I need to do today. And I've only got about half an hour to get it done, so I just need to...
you won't be able to do it from this site anyway, okay? So
Understood,
if you want to
yeah.
go elsewhere and fly over the loch and that sort of thing, then I'll leave that with you. But if you want to fly from here, then it would need to be applied through Historic Scotland and back there. I can do you want the details for that, or are you happy if it's
No, because it is something I need to do that today. Yeah, exactly. So from up on the public path, can fly down over the loch, over the site, obviously being careful I don't fly over any crowds or anything. I'm getting in the way here. That's not a problem. I just don't want to be mid-flight and somebody comes out challenging me, because the people are very
if you're
sensitive
not on
to
this
drones.
site, I'm not going to be able to find you where you are. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to do much about that. It's but I would definitely, I wouldn't like you to think that you were going away to try and fly over the castle to bother people or anything like that. But if it's it's your GoPro to do with and your drone to do with what you wish elsewhere, I don't have a say on that.
Right here.
I'm saying from this site, you can't fly your drone unless it's been booked in prior.
Right here.
Permissions. Does that make sense?
That's fine. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. Well, thank you.
Anything else you'd like to know today?
No, I don't. Do you work under? I've forgotten her name again. The lady I spoke to before. Do you work under her or are you above her?
Neither or.
All right.
I'm one of the supervisors here.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you knew any information about the right of way, because unfortunately I'm. Oh, you're there. Sorry, I didn't realise you were stood right there.
The information I know is the same as Irish has already told you from what you've told me, anyway.
Right, yeah. Okie dokie.
We'll
Okay.
move over here.
So I'll come round.
Oops. I mean, I think we've more or less.
Sorry, just as well, the gentleman is filming. I did just ask him.
Oh yes,
just
you
to let you
know
be
what to
aware
do.
that you're being
Yeah.
filmed. So.
But I'm also not given authorization for any recording of us to be used.
Yeah, so I'm also not happy being recorded, but you seem to want to
Understood.
do it. So, yeah. So he is asking about flying a drone from originally from this site, as I understood it. So I explained that being able to fly from the site is something that needs booked in and permissions given. He's now asking if he goes elsewhere off-site, can he fly his drone over the castle, and that sort of thing. So I'm saying, well, it's off-site. If that's nothing to do with me. It's just if he's wanting to fly from here that he can't do that.
So from out with our boundaries, so away from the coach park, car park, etc. There's nothing stopping certain size of drones going over our property. So you need to know the legislation and everything to make sure that your drone is allowed to fly over.
Of course.
Because over a certain size, you're not allowed to fly over.
Of course,
as you probably know. But you would need to lift off and land back out without boundaries.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay.
We also asked him to be mindful as well that we do have visitors on site. So if he's just flying over the castle, just to be mindful of that.
Right here. Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Right. I will do the big reveal of why I'm actually here today. So I'm working on a newspaper story regarding a disability rights issue, which is, I understand over summer, people with disabilities looking to access the public right of way were told that they weren't allowed to park in the car park. They had to walk up from Drumnadrocket, whereas people without disabilities were not being challenged in that way. And it seems to be a very sort of backdoor way of preventing people from accessing the right of way by saying you can access it, but you have to park in Drumnadrocket, knowing full well that those people can't walk up from Drumnadrocket.
Right.
So that's what I've been looking into. Now, obviously, the fact that you're telling me in the 8 years you've worked here, you're not aware of there ever being a right-of-way here,
Yes, correct.
that would suggest that what those people are saying is true, that they haven't been allowed access to a right-of-way, or have they?
So what we do have here as a private car park is, sorry, someone's coming from
Whoops.
the left. As a private car park,
Indeed.
we have limited physical space.
Indeed.
So the way we operate in the summer is if you have a pre-book ticket, you can come in. If you don't have a pre-book ticket, we just don't have the space. And sometimes what happens is that the car park looks a bit empty, but it's a bit like a restaurant situation where it's reserved for someone who's coming.
Understood.
So if we have the space to allow people in, we do. If we don't, it's reserved, pre-booked only.
All right.
So this applies to everyone and anyone.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with any accessibilities or anything.
Right, okay. Would that... I was trying to think how to phrase this next question.
I might just stop you right there, because anything that's media related, it needs to go, as you could probably...
We have a media department.
Yeah, you could probably realize before, is that it needs to be an official media request or comment. So
It doesn't need to be.
yes.
Your organisation may prefer it is, but it's also fine for me to just come here and ask questions to find out what is actually going on.
But from our side, it's not our place to be saying these things and to go on an interview to go out.
Okay.
And then that's why we're saying we don't authorize you to use our recording
Right.
or any type of recording.
I mean, there is one question that you are probably best placed to answer rather than the media office answering, which is why was I not asked to take my car down to Drumley Rocket when I was asking to access the public right-of-way?
That doesn't make sense right now. But that question doesn't
So
make
sorry,
any
can you
sense.
repeat that question? What did you say?
Yes, so when I was asking to access the public right-of-way, I was just told no, and as far as you're aware, there isn't one.
Yes, because that question is one thing, is a public right of way.
Okay.
Whereas what you're alluding to is people with disabilities and the right of way, which I've just explained, it's not something we do.
Okay.
There's no difference between someone with disabilities and someone without.
Okay.
What you're trying to talk about is when we're fully booked in the summer and we physically don't have space for someone to come in,
Right.
or we do have space for someone to come
Yeah,
in.
but that's like a separate car
It's
parking
a-
issue to what you're actually asking about. You're trying to lump two things together which are separate. So it's like, is car parking for anyone?
Yep.
Or it's the right of access is a different subject entirely, if you see what I mean. It's
Understood.
those two are not actually
Linked in any way.
They are linked though because of the response I've had today compared to the response that other people have had. The response to me has been, there's no public right-of-way.
Right.
The response to some other people has been, there is a public right-of-way and you're welcome to use it, you're just not allowed to park here.
I would dispute that. Our guys wouldn't say that.
yeah.
Okay. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing that. I don't
Yes,
know
obviously.
I don't know what words they used.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Right.
so obviously this wasn't. It's someone said something. So, as you said, the two things are completely unrelated: the right
Okay.
of way and the parking here. And as you said as well, all of this needs to be dealt with by media.
Okay.
So there's nothing for us to say here anymore.
Right.
Because it's not our place to say this.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Right. We'll leave it at that. Thank you for your time.
Can
Sorry
I get your name again?
You can't get it again because I didn't give you it the first time.
Okay.
Can I ask you, please? I didn't get your name.
My name's Andrew.
So I would like.
My name's Andrew.
Surname?
Smith.
Andrew Smith. And
Yep.
which news papers are you with?
I'm just an independent. I don't work for a specific paper.
Oh, you're an independent.
I'm an independent. Yeah.
And you just work under your own name,
Indeed.
Andrew Smith. Okay. Thank you.
Well, have
All
a good
right.
day.
Thanks for your
Have a nice
time.
day. Thank you.
Sorry to make your Sunday morning difficult. Have a good day. Cheerio. Right. 12 o'clock. I've got half an hour. At a push 40 minutes. So, this is kind of boggling my brain how we actually tackle this. Obviously, I'm going to have to actually put this to their press office and get an official response. But what have we actually established for certain today? So they are willing to tell people that there is no right of way, and I absolutely believe that lady. I think she, you know, as far as both of them are concerned, there is no right of way. That's not on them. That's on the people above them that have either told them there isn't, or have failed to tell them that there is. But there's a caveat to that, which is that First Lady said that they encounter this a lot. At some point, if they are being responsible in their jobs, they will have spoken to someone higher up. So it falls on that person to have correctly informed them that there is a right of way. By the way, obviously these videos get watched by lots of people from lots of different countries. Right of way doesn't mean there has to be a path like this with a signpost on it saying right of way. It means if you're on your way somewhere and you come to some private land and it's not being used for agricultural purposes and it's not a private garden, or private property, then you can walk across it. You can't use or cycle across it. You can't use motorised vehicles. You can't drive across it. As I am well aware, after having to borrow a bike years ago to do a 10-mile cycle through rough countryside to the scene where they were shooting one of the big stunts for Batman Returns, was it? The Dark Knight Rises, that was it. The one with the big action scene with the plane being grabbed out of the air by a Hercules and then dropped to the ground. That was filmed near here. So there you go, folks. Hopefully, just before you're hearing this, I've had some drone footage in the video. I did a stupid thing at the end of recording. Instead of pressing the button to stop recording, I just turned the controller off. So I'm hoping the drone was smart enough to just stop recording and not lose the video. Oh. Not sure why that guy was standing where he was rather than going a bit further along to actually see past the trees. But there was an incredibly strong smell of cannabis. So I don't know whether that might give us a wee clue. Right, we'll pop in and let them know that we're done and that the drone's away. and that I either got some nice video footage or I got some nice video footage and deleted it by mistake. Oh man, I tell you, I really enjoyed that. Yeah, good on you, DJE, for all the... Oh yeah, I'm mentioning DJE. If you don't know him, his channel is DJE Media. He does sort of auditing videos, but also does really good drone footage in them as well. So like, he's not just rocking up to places and looking for confrontation like some auditors do. He's actually, you know, he is just legitimately exercising his rights to use a drone in public airspace because he wants to take beautiful videos of interesting places. So yeah, if for some reason you don't know about his channel, go and check it out. DJE_media, I think his name is. I've been watching him for a long time now. Yeah, and he's got an amazing number of videos as well. He's a proper grafter with his YouTube channel, churning them out, but top quality, every one of them. Right, let's go say cheerio. Hey mate, that's me done. So I'm away, so if you see any drones around, it's nothing to do with me anymore.
Okay.
Okay. Cheerio, thanks for your help. See ya. Alright folks, we begin our walk into direct sunlight, so I imagine this video is not looking great at the moment, but that's the end of our visit to Urquhart Castle. Not sure whether I'll actually do a follow-up on this once I've actually spoken to the press office. I might just get the story done and just get it out and see if anyone uses it. I think it's a good story, but then, you know, sometimes good stories don't get used, or they just don't stand up, and I don't think I've quite got this one to stand up yet, so I need to go back and speak to the people that got me to look into it. And there's our locked gate. I think it's locked. Let's just actually try. Yeah, that's a chain around it. Alright, and I'm assuming that one's locked as well. Yeah, right, okay. That is our visit to Urquhart Castle over. Thank you for watching. Yeah, catch you next time. Cheerio.